Do you remember the first time you saw evidence of his talent?
It was soon after Colin started working with him in painting, and I think it was when he did. There's a painting over there. It's like a blurry painting. It looks kind of like a Matisse or something, and I noticed then that he had some talent.
I was introduced to Kevin because his previous therapist was leaving, and so I met him. And I think like the first session, we sat down, and he started asking me about drawing. He said, "Can you draw? I bet you can't draw."
But it was maybe when he was 9 years old. I said, "Oh, this is really cool. I mean, it's cool that he's getting an intervention from the UCSB Autism Clinic, but he's also developing a skill."
And so we started with that, and then slowly got him to draw a little bit. And within, I'd say a week, we're doing watercolors and acrylic, and within 2 weeks, we're oil painting. And ever since then, he's really taken off, and it's just about kind of following his lead. Who is your favorite painter?
It used to be Gerhard Richter.
Yeah.
I realized it when we lived in Bakersfield, and he was 2 years old, and our next door neighbor said that he should be talking more. He wasn't really having a lot of tantrums at that time, but he would become obsessive about certain things as well. He just loved trains, and so we'd go for train rides too as a reward if he was doing well. It was something that was set up through the cable clinic.
Well, we're talking about, for me, what is kind of special about his work in particular, and it's just that what I see is a kind of a raw intelligence that comes through, and it's the use of his color, and it is his composition, and it's the texture he uses and the style he uses. They all kind of come together, and although it's quite unconscious really what he's doing, but there's an incredible intelligence that I see behind his work.
Not realistic.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
And so I drew a little bit, and he didn't like my style at all. I'm like, well, if you don't like that, then let me see what you can do, you know? and it just kind of went from there.
A favorite painting of Kevin's? I like this one that's in our kitchen. He did that collaboratively with J.Dan Gibbs, who's an artist in Thousand Oaks.
I see. You said he actually uses some kinds of, he does interesting things with texture. What does he do again? He uses dirt or something?
Yeah, sometimes he puts, this one doesn't have any, but he sometimes puts dirt in his paintings, or he'll put sticks, or he puts wax with the oil paint, or a substance called liquid impasto, which he learned from J.Dan Gibbs. It gives the paint a different texture. He's very much into texture. He's developing a skill that maybe he can use later on in his life. He could have something that's something he's passionate about that he could, use through his life. And it's he enjoys it a lot. It's a very fun thing for him to do.
Do you have advice for parents who think they might have a child with autism or who know they do?
Yes, I would get in touch with a local support group like the Autism Society of America Santa Barbara. There's just so many organizations that you have to become knowledgeable about, and about laws that protect your child. And the best person that could help you with your child is another parent, because they've been through the system. Is to get a great therapist like the Autism Clinic, this UCSB Autism Clinic. I mean, you really need that for behavioral therapy. And there's a recommendation right now that children under 5 need 40 hours a week of therapy to, advance through their disability and get better.
Okay.
It's very costly. That's very costly. The regional center usually will not fund 40 hours of therapy. But the UCSB Autism Clinic, if a parent can get into a grant there, or they can also get therapy through the regional center.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you very much.
Sure.